Check 1, 2. Good afternoon. We'll be ready to roll in about 4 minutes to the Maryland Million Classic post-position draw, about 4 minutes away. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Laurel Park here in the Sports Bar. We're on the second floor at Laurel Park Live, and welcome to all of you joining us on YouTube or wherever you may be watching this post-position draw for the Maryland Million Classic. It's the post-position draw for the 37th running of the Maryland Million Classic, $150,000. Maryland owners and breeders and trainers have responded with great enthusiasm this year. At the entry box, we have a 12-race program, and believe it or not, overflow entries, 158 entries on the overnight on Saturday, October 22nd. A quick reminder before we begin the classic draw this afternoon that gates will open early on Maryland Million Day at 10 a.m. Our first race post time is at 11:30 a.m. Today at the races, taking a look at all of the races handicapping-wise set for 10:30 a.m. You can join Maryland Jockey Club racing analyst Tim Tulloch with his very special guest who'll be in town from the Daily Racing Form, handicapper Dan Illman. As they go through the card, they'll preview the card and give you their selections, best bets, and long shots for the afternoon's program. Callie Francois and Tim Tulloch will provide the in-between race analysis during the program. So we have a lot on Saturday afternoon going on, and a perfect skies, clear skies calling for lots of sunshine and a high of 70 degrees. So sunny and 70 for Saturday. You can follow along on the First Bet app. Download that First Bet betting app, and you can watch and wager on all of the races here at Laurel Park on Saturday afternoon, racing from across the country as well. Be sure to give us a follow, too, if you haven't yet, on social media, on Twitter. We're at Laurel Park, of course, our website, laurelpark.com, and the Maryland Million at marylandmillion.com. Jim McKay Maryland Million Day will be packed with fun and activities as well, something for the entire family, so be sure to bring the family. And, oh yeah, bring a couple of friends, too, perhaps a few that haven't been to the races ever. This is a great introduction to thoroughbred racing for them. We'll have on-track activities that will include the Sutler Post Farm Clydesdales. We'll have a new kids zone. We'll have ponies in the paddock and a pony kissing booth and a face painting for the kids and much more. Register for the hat contest in partnership with Christine A. Moore Millinery. We'll have the Joe Kelly Unsung Hero Award. Joe, a very good friend of the great Jim McKay. And our Maryland Million Steaks Buffet. Be sure to come hungry. We'll have lots of food throughout the grandstand and clubhouse, but that Steaks Buffet features Maryland crab cakes, chili and cornbread, short ribs of beef, variety of salads, something for everyone, and of course desserts. And you can enter to win a $500 betting voucher. And you can do so online, laurelpark.com, and be sure to check that out. Or here on Saturday afternoon, scan the QR code app billboard you see around the building as well. So planning to go on Saturday afternoon, and it's my pleasure at this time to bring to the podium, representing the Maryland Million, the Vice President of the Maryland Million, Mr. Kent Murray.
Thank you, and I'd just like to welcome everybody. I hope everybody has a great time tomorrow. Good luck with racing, and enjoy the day. We've got lots of activities. It should be a lot of fun. Every Maryland Million is a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow, and we're looking forward to all of you being in the winter circle. Thank you. Oh, Saturday, that's right. Sorry, oops, Saturday. Thank you.
That's Kent Murray, the Vice President of the Maryland Million. Well, the Maryland Million can't do it all by themselves, of course. The Maryland Jockey Club has been a great partner with the Maryland Million, and Laurel Park will host the Maryland Million for the 29th time on Saturday. 37 runnings of the Maryland Million. It's been here 28 times, 29 on Saturday. Let's introduce now the acting president of racing here at the Maryland Jockey Club, Mr. Mike Rogers.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. I'd like to welcome everyone to the 37th running of the Jim McKay Maryland Million. I'd like to take this opportunity first to thank the board of directors of the Maryland Million, along with Cricket Goodall and her team. It's an honor to host this event. It's one of the biggest days in Maryland's annual card, so we're pretty excited to always host this event. It takes a lot of dedicated people to execute an event like this. I'd like to thank the entire team of the Maryland Jockey Club. They're hard at work right now, getting ready for this weekend. I'd also like to thank our racing secretary, Jillian Tulloch, and her team. We have an unbelievable card this weekend, maybe one of the best we've ever had in the history of the Maryland Million, so we're very excited. So on behalf of the Maryland Jockey Club, I'd like to thank everyone's support of Maryland racing. I wish good luck to all the owners, trainers, and all the participants, and the breeders, of course. And good luck this weekend, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Well, there were 310 pre-entries, 8 stakes, 4 starter stakes, and 158 entries on the overnight when it came out just a couple of hours ago. We'll have 5 races on the turf. There's something for everyone with big competitive fields. In the jockey colony, of course, Heavy Toledo and Sheldon Russell and Horatio Caramanos all hope to make inroads into Maryland Million's leading rider, Edgar Prado, who still holds the top spot in the Maryland Million jockey standings with 18 wins in the Maryland Million total. Trainer Dale Capuano with 14 wins, Hall of Famer King Leatherberry with 10 Maryland Million wins. They hold down the top 2 spots in the Maryland Million trainer standings. Dale Capuano and Michael Trombetta are coming into Saturday afternoon loaded with horses, ready to roll on Saturday, hoping to make an impact to Dale and, of course, the King. Some interesting races on the program, as you would expect, with overflow entries. The third race on the program, we have the turf sprint with Grateful Bread looking for a back-to-back scores. The fourth race and the eighth race feature the up-and-coming stars with Nursery and the Lassie. Our seventh race on Maryland Million Day, the $100,000 Maryland Million Distaff, featuring 8-time Laurel winner Fille d'Esprit on the verge of $500,000 in career earnings. In the 10th race, the $100,000 Maryland Million Sprint brings back 2021 winner Air Token for Corrales Racing and trainer Jose Corrales, meeting the 2020 winner Karen's Notion. But it won't be easy for either of those because we have a dozen other rivals facing that group. So a big field of 14 lined up in the Maryland Million Sprint. And, of course, the Maryland Million Classic post-position draw is what we're here for. It's time for the post-position draw for the 37th Maryland Million Classic. And with us today for the draw, we'd like to welcome Maryland Jockey Club Stakes Coordinator Eleanor Albert to my far right, and also Marie Kazenko from the Maryland Jockey Club Racing Office, who's done an outstanding job in the past few months assembling so many great stakes here in Maryland for the racing fans to play. Time for the post-position draw. It's the usual post draw with the pills and Eleanor's hand there, and she'll put them in the little red shaker. And then, of course, the entries for the Maryland Million in the entry box there. We also have 2 also eligibles this year that we'll be drawing as well. So the pills are in the shaker now, and we're ready for our first horse. 11 is Monday Morning QB, quarterback, as I might say. I don't know. And Monday Morning quarterback is post 11. 2. Tappin' Cat is number 2. Tappin' Cat. Number 10, Prendimi, looking to repeat in the Maryland Million Classic. 5, Ain't the Beer Cold. And
that's a 9, Our Nation on Parade.
Our Nation on Parade. 9. Number 9. Number 9.
And then 4, Torch of Truth.
4, Torch of Truth. Number 4. 8 is Crocelli.
7, Vance Scholars.
Vance Scholars, number 7.
1,
Breaking from the inside, number 1. Virginia Fulla from the inside gate.
6, Poser.
Number 6, the Poser. The Poser, number 6.
And number 3, Double Crown.
Breaking from post 3, Double Crown. Double Crown, number 3. And now we have the also eligibles. That would be Cordmaker, and Ben and Joe are the also eligibles for the Maryland Million Classic. And now it's time for the odds. Keith Fustel, our morning line maker here at Laurel Park at Pimlico, the Maryland Jockey Club. Our morning line odds. Let's start at the top with Virginia Fulla. Virginia Fulla, Sean Gardner, MIH Affiliates, LLC, trainer Danny at 30 to 1. 30 to 1. Tappin' Cat. Tappin' Cat from post number 2, Angel Suarez up at 8 to 1 for Nonstop Stable, Gary Capuano. Number 3 is Double Crown with jockey Horatio Caromanos for Built Right Stables, LLC, trained by Norman Lynn Cash. Double Crown at 9 to 2 on Keith Fustel's morning line. Number 4, Torch of Truth for Marie Trombetta, Michael Trombetta, trainer. Victor Carrasco will ride at 10 to 1. 10 to 1. Number 5 is Ain't the Beer Cold. Ain't the Beer Cold with jockey Sheldon Russell up for Matt Spencer, Kelly Jo Cox, Bonicelli Racing, and Kenny Cox. Ain't the Beer Cold at 6 to 1. The Poser, number 6. The Poser with Jevion Toledo, owned by Deborah Green, Ham Smith, and bred by Ham Smith and Deborah Green. Jevion Toledo on the Poser at 8 to 1. Next up, Vance Scholars with jockey Jorge Ruiz aboard. Vance Scholars for Stephen Newby, Dale Capuano trainer at 9 to 2. 9 to 2 on Vance Scholars. Number 8 is Crucelli. Crucelli, Robert Vukovic, owner and trainer. Forest Boyce aboard at 20 to 1. Our Nation on Parade, number 9. Our Nation on Parade with Jamie Rodriguez aboard, lined by Keith at 5 to 2. The defending champ of the Maryland Million Classic with Paco Lopez is Prendimi. And Prendimi will be a long shot this year again, 20 to 1. 20 to 1 on Prendimi. Monday morning quarterback with jockey William Humphrey aboard for Built Right Stables, another entrant from the Built Right Stables of Norman Lynn Cash at 15 to 1 with William Humphrey. And our also eligibles will be Cordmaker and Ben and Joe. Cordmaker Victor Carrasco with the call there, and Gene Alvello with Ben and Joe. 7 to 5 on Cordmaker, and Ben and Joe with Gene Alvello at 12 to 1. Callie Francois is here with us today. It's our Maryland Jockey Club racing analyst, and she has one of the connections for the Maryland Million Classic. Kenny Cox.
Thank you so much, Dave. Here I am with Kenny Cox with Ain't the Beer Cold. 2 wins and a scratch on the Polynesian leading up to this. How's he doing?
He's doing really good. We scratched out of the Polynesian. His feet were bothering him a little bit. The track was stinging him a little bit, so we decided to give him some extra time, have him ready for this. We worked him last weekend. Sheldon got on him for the first time. Went a minute and change, galloped out in 13. We couldn't ask him to do any better than that, and he looks great coming out of that work.
Ready to go at 6 to 1. Do you like the 5 post that you have? And where do you see yourself?
Absolutely love the 5. If they asked me earlier, I'd said 4, 5, 6 at the worst, so the 5 is perfect. We'll just kind of leave it up to how the race sets up. He's learned to rate. It's not one-dimensional on the front end. As long as he's on the outside, not stuck down in the middle, I think we'll be fine.
I think you'll be great as well. Being here, running a horse on Maryland Million Day, what does running a horse on Maryland Million Day in the Classic mean to you, and what do you think it means for Maryland racing in general?
For me, to just be part of the Maryland Million, I grew up in Maryland racing. It's big. I've never had too much luck with these races, but we've never invested in Maryland bred horses. So to finally have something that's live, in any race is a bonus. And for the rest of it, it's the Preakness, the Derby, the owners that don't get to invest in the $1 million babies and have those days. This is the day they shine and feel like they're part of something big for this whole state.
Looking good for you to shine that day as well. Kenny, thank you so much. Dave, back to you.
Thanks, Colleen, and good luck, Kenny Cox, and good luck to all of our trainers, owners, and breeders on Saturday in the Jim McKay Maryland Million. A quick reminder before we go, the gates will open at 10 a.m. Today at the races at 10:30 a.m. with Tim Tulloch and Daily Racing Form's Dan Illman with a special Today at the Races show, and post time at 11:30 a.m. You'll be busy all afternoon with the on-track activities on Jim McKay Maryland Million Day. We'd like to thank once again all of the horsemen for supporting the Maryland Million, filling the entry box for a full fields on Saturday and competitive program we have ahead. Thanks to all of you here at Laurel Park for attending the post position draw. Thanks for watching on YouTube. And until then, follow us at Laurel Park on Twitter, laurelpark.com, marylandmillion.com. Dave Rodman for Maryland's Day at the Races, the Maryland Million. Good luck, everybody.